I'm going to do two problems today with each software, using the graphing calculator to do both problems and then using StatCrunch to do both problems. So we see a leading magazine like Barron's reported that the average number of weeks an individual is unemployed is 18 weeks. Assume that the population for all unemployed individuals, the population mean length of unemployment is 18 weeks, and the population standard deviation is 2.7 weeks. Suppose you'd like to select a random sample of 98 unemployed individuals for a follow-up study. Find the probability that a single randomly selected value is greater than 17.5 weeks. And then find the probability that the sample size of n equals 98 randomly selected with a mean greater than 17.5. To do this with the graphing calculator, we are going to do the distribution function, which is above the VARS button. So second distribution. We are going to do the normal CDF. And our lower value in this problem is 17.5. And then our upper value is going to be infinity. The only way to get infinity is to do 1 times 10 to the power of 99. And then mu is 18 weeks. And the standard deviation sigma is 2.7 weeks. And then we enter that in. It gives us a normal CDF with all the values we put in there. And we see that the answer is 0.57345 and then on. To do the next problem, we do basically the same thing. We do the normal distribution. But here, the standard deviation is going to change to 2.7 divided by the square root of 98. And then we enter that and we get a value of 0.9666. All right, let's use StatCrunch this time. Now in StatCrunch, we go to Stat, there are calculators. We go to the normal calculator. And here we see the mean in the 0 and standard deviation 1. We can do less than, greater than. We can even do in between values, which will be the next problem. So in this case, the mean again was 18 weeks. The standard deviation was 2.7. We want to do greater than 17.5. And when we compute, we see it's 0.57345811. Okay, now let's do the second part where we take 2.7 and we divide it by the square root of 98. And when we compute, we get 0.9666. All right, that's the first problem. The second problem, Business Weekly conducted a survey of graduates from 30 top MBA programs. On the basis of the survey, assume mean salary for graduates 10 years after graduation is $185,000. Assume the standard deviation is $33,000. Suppose you take a simple random sample of 59 graduates. What's the probability that's between 185,859.2 and 192,303.6? All right, so let's start with StatCrunch this time. We do between, and here we have our mean being $185,000. The standard deviation was $33,000. We want to know what's the probability that it's between 185, 859.2 and 192, 303.6. We compute that, and we see that that answer is 0.077193. For the second one, we have we want to know n is 59, so we take our standard deviation and we divide it by the square root of 59 and compute, and we see the probability area is larger, 0.376179113. Now let's try that on the graphing calculator. Second distribution, we're doing a normal distribution. We see the lower limit is 185,859.2. We have an upper limit of 192,303. 192,303.6. Mu is 185,000, and standard deviation was 33,000. And we see that that answer is 0.08928. And we do it again. Second distribution, normal CDF, and we want to change this to 33,000 divided by the square root of 59. Enter, enter, enter. And we see it's 0.4685. All right, that's how we do those two problems with the graphing calculator and StatCrunch.